The morning sun cast long shadows across Highway 47 as Natasha Reynolds ran down the center line in her red dress and matching heels. Her blonde hair whipped behind her like a flag of surrender. Behind her, three figures in black pursued her with steady determination. At 58 years old, Natasha had never imagined her life would come to this moment. Running. Always running. The red dress she wore had been meant for a different purpose entirely. It was supposed to be for celebration. Instead, it had become her escape uniform. Her lungs burned. Her feet ached in those impractical shoes. But she kept moving because stopping meant facing what she had been running from for 3 long years. The motorcycle club members stood beside their bikes watching this strange scene unfold. Big Mike was the first to notice. He was a man of 62 with a long gray beard and arms covered in faded tattoos that told stories of a lifetime lived hard and honest. He had been adjusting his bike when he looked up and saw the woman in red running toward them. "Tommy," he said quietly to his riding partner, "we got something coming our way." Tommy Chen was 59. He had joined the Iron Guardians motorcycle club 15 years ago after his wife passed. The brotherhood had saved him from drowning in grief. He squinted down the highway and saw what Big Mike saw. "That woman's in trouble," Tommy said. The third man was called Preacher. Not because he had ever set foot in a seminary, but because he had a way of seeing into people's souls. At 65 he was the oldest of the group. He stepped forward as Natasha got closer. She stumbled, nearly fell, caught herself and kept running. The 3 men in black behind her were gaining ground. "Help me," Natasha gasped as she reached the motorcycles. "Please help me." Big Mike moved his considerable frame between Natasha and the road. Tommy and Preacher flanked him. The 3 men in black stopped 20 feet away. Now that everyone was still, the truth became visible. The men in black pulled down their masks. They were young, late 20s perhaps. Their faces showed exhaustion and worry, not menace. "Ma'am," one of them said between heavy breaths, "we're not trying to hurt you. We're trying to help you." Natasha pressed herself against Big Mike's motorcycle. "Don't listen to them," she said. "They've been following me." "We're her sons," the tallest one said. He had kind eyes that looked like they had cried recently. "I'm David. This is Marcus and James. Our mother hasn't been well." Big Mike raised his hand. "Everybody just calm down. Let's figure this out without anybody getting hurt or arrested." Preacher stepped closer to Natasha. He spoke in that gentle voice that had talked down angry men and comforted crying children. "What's your name, honey?" "Natasha," she whispered. "Natasha Reynolds." "That's a beautiful name," Preacher said. "I'm called Preacher. This is Big Mike and Tommy. We're just out for a morning ride. But it seems like maybe you need someone to listen right now." The 3 sons stood together. David, the eldest, spoke again. "Mom disappeared 3 days ago. We've been looking everywhere. She's been having episodes. Confusion. Memory problems. The doctors said it's early dementia." Natasha's face showed a flicker of something. Uncertainty perhaps, or the shadow of recognition. "I don't have dementia," she said, but her voice wavered. "I'm running from my past. I made mistakes. I hurt people. I left people behind." "You left us," Marcus said. His voice cracked. "You left Dad when we were kids. You've been gone 30 years, Mom. We just found you 6 months ago. We've been trying to help you." Tommy spoke up. "Why don't we all sit down? There's a rest stop just up the road. Nobody needs to run anymore." Big Mike nodded. "Ladies' choice though." "Natasha, you want to talk to these men? If you say no, we'll figure something else out." Natasha looked at the 3 men in black. Really looked at them. David had his father's jaw. Marcus had her mother's eyes. James looked like her brother who had died in Vietnam. "I ran away," she said slowly. "I ran away because I was scared. Because I didn't know how to be a mother. Because I thought they'd be better off without me." "We weren't," James said. "The youngest son. The quiet one. We needed you." The morning sun climbed higher. Traffic passed by occasionally. A semi-truck driver honked and waved at the motorcycle club members. Life continued around them while this small group worked through 3 decades of pain. Preacher pulled out a thermos of coffee from his saddlebag. "I always bring extra," he said. He poured coffee into small paper cups and passed them around. Even the sons in black accepted cups. "I joined the Iron Guardians after my wife died," Tommy said suddenly. I was so lost, so angry at the world. These men saved my life. They showed me that family isn't just blood. It's the people who show up when you're broken. Big Mike nodded. I was in prison for 15 years. Did some stupid things when I was young. When I got out I had nothing. No job, no home. The club took me in. Gave me purpose. Taught me that it's never too late to be better than you were. Preacher sipped his coffee. I had a daughter once. She died when she was 17. Car accident. I blamed myself for 30 years. Drank myself nearly to death. Then one day I realized something. The people we hurt and the people we love are often the same people. And sometimes forgiveness is the only thing that can save us. Natasha listened. Tears ran down her face, leaving tracks through her makeup. I've been running for so long I forgot what I was running from. David stepped closer. Not threatening. Just closer. Mom, the doctors say you're going to need help. The dementia is going to get worse. We want to be there for you. We want to help you through this. After what I did, Natasha asked. After I abandoned you. Because of what you did, Marcus said. Because we know what it's like to lose a mother. We don't want to lose you again. Not when we just found you. The motorcycle club members stood witness to this reconciliation. They had seen violence and loss. They had lived through betrayal and redemption. They knew that the hardest thing in the world was not fighting. It was forgiving. What if I forget you again? Natasha asked. What if this disease takes away even the memories of finding you? James spoke. Then we'll remind you. Every single day if we have to. We'll tell you stories about who you are and who we are. We'll show you pictures. We'll be patient. Big Mike cleared his throat. I don't know much about dementia, he said, but I know something about lost time. You can't get back the years. But you can make the most of the days you have left. Natasha looked down at her red dress. I put this on this morning because I remembered it was David's birthday. April 23rd, I remembered, but then I got confused. I thought I was late for his party. I thought he was still 7 years old. And then I was running. I don't even know why anymore. It is my birthday, David said. I'm 33 today. A small laugh escaped Natasha's lips. I remembered your birthday but forgot how old you were. That's a start, David said. That's something. Tommy checked his watch. We need to get these folks somewhere safe. Natasha, do you want to go with your sons? She nodded slowly. I think I do. I'm tired of running. The three sons came forward. They embraced their mother there on Highway 47 while three motorcycle club members looked on. It was not a perfect reunion. There was too much history and too much pain for perfection. But it was real. It was honest. And it was filled with a kind of love that had survived 30 years of absence. Before they left, Preacher gave David his phone number. You boys ever need to talk to someone who understands difficult situations, you call me. And you take care of your mother. She's lucky to have sons who care enough to chase her down a highway. David shook Preacher's hand. Then Big Mike's. Then Tommy's. Thank you, he said. Thank you for stopping. For listening. For not judging. That's what we do, Big Mike said. We protect people who need protecting. As the sons led their mother to their car, Natasha turned back one more time. She looked at the three motorcycle club members with their leather vests and their gray beards and their lives full of hard-earned wisdom. Thank you, she called out. Thank you for showing me it's never too late. The three men nodded. They watched as the car pulled away. Then they mounted their motorcycles and continued down Highway 47. They had been riding together for years and they would ride together for years more. They were brothers not by blood but by choice. And they knew that sometimes the most important thing you can do is simply stop and listen when someone needs help. The story of the woman in the red dress became part of the Iron Guardians legend. Big Mike would tell it around campfires. Tommy would share it with new club members. Preacher would use it as an example of how small acts of kindness can change lives. And somewhere in a small house with her three sons, Natasha Reynolds lived out her remaining good days. When the dementia got bad and she forgot where she was, her sons would remind her. They would tell her about the morning she ran down Highway 47 in a red dress. They would tell her about the motorcycle club members who stopped to help. They would remind her that she came home. And sometimes in her clearer moments she would smile and say, I was so scared. But those men in leather showed me what real strength looks like. It looks like standing still. It looks like listening. It looks like forgiveness. The sun continued to rise over Highway 47. Families continued to break and heal. People continued to run and return. And 3 motorcycle club members continued to ride knowing that they were more than they appeared to be. They were guardians indeed.